Hi there and welcome back. This is a video blog to document a never-ending workload in a huge garden which I usually maintain alone. Last week, however, my family was visiting and we collected most of the bigger tree branches from the backyard and piled them together. Smaller ones are waiting to be mulched and tiniest to be burned. This is what I intended to do the very next day my family left. But it was so windy that I had to give up the idea. Not only was it unsafe from the fire perspective, but also more branches were falling from the trees, so it just was not a good idea in general to be there. So I headed up to the front garden and cleaned up the sad arborvitae, which was planted last year and had such a tiny root plant that it struggled to stay green. Well, it's not looking exactly fabulous now, but it's better than before. And in general, I just love it how it looks in the nighttime when the tiny lights are on. The next day, it was time to try to make the fire again.
No wind! This means it's a bonfire time.
It was the last day of April, and it's recommended here that no fire must be done after the 1st of May. The branches were so dry that I was able to light the fire with just one match. I guess this is why we have the fire ban after tomorrow. I was trying to keep the pile quite small, so I was using a rake and the garden fork to add and remove more material. As the fire was going, I gathered more branches from the garden in the backyard. I think this white smoke looks worse than it actually is. It just comes from the dry leaves. Ooh, look at that neat look! Alright, some more branches to collect from the back garden, which is behind the fence. Luckily there's not too much there, as most of the trees are not pines, which are specifically vulnerable for heavy snowfalls that we just experienced the last week. Yay! This is done! It took only about an hour and a half. So next, dismantling the broken fence. The fence was installed in the summer of 2015, and although I personally absolutely adore the style, it may need some adjustments, or I may even need to swap the whole thing. The reason for that is that there are some badgers who have decided to move into our area and use my lawn as the dining table. Unfortunately, these guys do not clean up after themselves, and once they are finished, it leaves the lawn looking just horrible, with tiny holes and grass roots and tiny pieces of mud everywhere. The problem is, my current fence is very sparse and they can come in under that, which gives me two options: install the metal mesh on the existing fence structure, or dismantle the whole structure completely and opt for a new fence, which would be a mesh one and probably also a bit higher. The bad news is that none of these options is cheap, as my fence is about 400 meters long and it would be a huge investment. I'm trying to figure out how to overcome this badger problem. Today, it just stresses me to the maximum. Here, I'm demonstrating how the galvanized steel posts were just pushed over the heavy winds from last autumn. Just pushed over, just over. Oh well, it's supposed to be that the good ideas just come to you when it is the right time. So far, I'm just playing the zoo here in my garden and get occasional anger attacks when someone wild comes to my garden and messes it up.
We're singing about the love and all the things we had.
Yay! This is done.
Never giving up. The girls on the way, find me. I will do the same for you, trust me. That you love me is a power. Stay here 24 hours, baby. Think about me.
This is the current view from the house, with the missing fence here. Luckily, I have the nature here, which is so gorgeous, and the walk to the beach is always a bliss. We still have some geese flying over.
Never giving up. The girls on the way, find me. the same
and
way
the
you
beer
trust me.
garlic is showing the first leaves.
Stay here 24 hours, baby. Think about me. And I'll give you everything you want.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.